Welcome to the channel. Advanced Math can break your score. This is a last minute review and concept and strategy to tackle this portion of the SAT to get you to your dream score. 5 questions are created. They are fresh. You've never seen it before. As usual, they are new questions based on subscriber requests how to walk through this question. This is your last stop to 800. 5 questions. Buckle up. Keep track of your record. Let me know how you do. First question. It looks scary. I intentionally said it that way to trap you, to let you run away. But look at the question carefully. They've given you this expression. They say K is a what? A positive constant. This fraction go into that, this fraction go into that. What is the value of that? Always look at the function they've given you. Even if it looks scary, this is the process of going through based on the request from the subscriber. I look at the question and I say, look, why did they give me K divided by 5 is equal to X? And they repeat it here. Every time you see X minus something repeated or A minus some X repeated, that tells you axis of symmetry. That means if I plot the graph, there's going to be a middle. Any point will be always run around this axis of symmetry. After I've identified, I look at the answer choice. I say, what? Oh, half? It goes to minus 397 over 3. Forget about the fraction once again. 3 over 2 go into negative 37 over 3. That means they are also symmetry to the graph. Based on which point, the one they've given you, they always will give you something that is symmetrical so that you can cancel it out. Half and 3 over 2. I have 7 over 2 and 5 over 2. I said, there's something wrong. I take half plus 7 over 2. This is what? 8 over 2. If this is axis of symmetry, if this is the axis of symmetry, it should be the average of that. This is 4. And the midpoint is divided by 2. I mean, the middle of those points is the axis of symmetry. If you had this and you divide by 2, you get 2. Look at it. 3 over 2 plus 5 over 2 is the same thing, 8 over 2, which is equal to 4. The midpoint axis of symmetry is also 2. Therefore, the whole thing, K, is related to 2. Therefore, if I put 2 here, I'm going to find K, right? I'm explaining to you, but it should not take you more than 10 seconds to solve this question. Therefore, I know that the functions are related to each other. That half is related to 7 over 2. 3 is related to 5 over 2. Because when I add them, I get the axis of symmetry of 2. And therefore, instead of calculating, you say, oh, boldly say that 7 over 2 is negative 397 over 3, which is the output. And 5 over 2 is equal to 3 over 2, which is equal to what? Negative 37 over 3. And when you add this, they said subtract this. So this becomes positive. This gets 360 negative over 3. This is 120. 10 to 20 seconds per hour. Let's go to Desmos. Let me show you. For Desmos, you have to input the whole function in the system. And just make sure that you put the correct equation in. And then get a table and plot your points that you've been provided with. So I have half go into negative 397 over 3. And then 3 over 2 goes to negative 37 over 3. And then you plot your point, get your custom regression, and then use your equation right here. And then regress it. And you get K is equal to 10. All you need to do is find 7 over 2, F of 5 over 2. And you get the same thing, minus 120. Question 2, the equation thus is being given as 3 resolution, counting multiplicity. The product of the solution is 20. What is the value of K? Don't panic. Don't put this in regression. Once again, when they give you a solution of equation that look complex like that, it's actually straightforward. So the mental gymnastic I want you to do is look at it. It's a product of the solution. Therefore, this has been factored for you. I just need this factor, this factor, this factor. And if you look at it, this is what? You can find the factor straightforward, and I can put it in Desmos, right? There's one factor is what? 5 over 4. That's the first factor. You equate this to 0. Look at this carefully. Square root of 15k plus 2 minus x, and then it gets flipped. Minus x plus square root of what? 15k plus 2. They are the same function. Therefore, this is just squared. This is the same as what? Square root of 15k plus 2, right? It's the same thing minus x all squared. So that's double factor. That's multiplicity. Always look at the function before you start jumping. I put the x in front to trap you to think like you got to do something. You don't have to do anything. And therefore, that's the root. The root, this multiplied by each other is going to be one root. And therefore, that's good. It will be what? The square root of this multiplied by that is going to lead to 15k plus 2. That's all. And all of it should be equal to what? Regression to 20. That's my answer choice. I don't have to waste too much time doing anything. And therefore, k is what? Given. And I'll find k, fraction is 14 over 15. This should not take you more than 20 seconds. Once again, this is being factored for you. Don't do any regression. It said they are product of solution. They already multiply each other. What do you need to do? Find the x value, equate each to 0. This will give you 5 over 4. This is the same function. It's squared. And when you multiply, you just get 1. And therefore, equate it to 20. And that will give you the right answer. Question 3 is the same thing. Like I say, I created this question to scare you. SAT will do that to you. I want you to have the stamina so that when you see this question, it become easy. We have a circle, center, HK, in the XY plane. And they say, well, point A lie on the circle and has this coordinate. Scary, right? Scary coordinate given to you. Yes, H minus 3 square root of 5, K plus square root of 5, right? And it's a point B also lay on the circle and measure this. What is the length of AB? Basically, if this is the circle, we have center HK. There's a point here. This point, scary point is here. There's another point here. They want you to calculate this. Concept, thinking, connect to this. They've given you the angle, which is what? 120. That's your central angle. If that's the case, I just need the radius. That's all. So calculate the radius. The radius is actually going to be easy, right? When you subtract this from the center, you're going to get minus 3 square root of 5 square plus the same thing. This would be square root of 5 squared. This is actually going to be 9 times 5, 45 times 5. This is square root of 50, right? You're done. You can simplify. You can say 5 square root of 2. Now, they want you to find the length from here to here. Look at it carefully. From here to here, and this is the central angle of 120. If you divide it, this becomes 60. This is your radius still. And this line AB, if you want to find here, is going to be sine 60, right? That's your angle. The difference between them is what? Sine 60 opposite, which is half of AB over the radius. That means AB is 2r sine 60. That's all. And this is going to be 5 square root of 2, and this will be square root of 3 over 2. Straightforward question, and that will give you 5 square root of 6. Question 4 and 5, I want you to spend time with it. This is likely to show up on your SAT. They love it. It's factorization strategy. People struggle when they're trying to use regression. I want to show you the easy way to make your regression easy. So you have these polynomial complex equation. Forget about it. It said can be factored in this form. Okay, all of them are variable, where all of them are positive integers. You got to pay attention to that. What is the least possible of QT, right? QT. The way I like to do this is to make sure I'm going to use Desmos, but I want Desmos to sit back, and I will do most of the dictating, tell Desmos not to pick numbers for me. So if you factor this QS squared R S S squared plus T, I always do that first. I'm going to get what? QS, which should be equivalent to the 15. I'm going to get RT, which is 154, right? And the middle number, which is going to be QT, RS is going to be 391, right? What I care about these two factors, right? QS giving you 15, I have 35 or 53. They can flip each other. RT can be 154 or 77 too. This is all you need. And therefore, if I want the smallest QT, think about it. I don't even have to go to Desmos. The smallest of these numbers is 3. Smallest of these numbers is 2. QT is going to be 6. That's all. I will show you how to use Desmos. But Desmos, just input the first function, followed by the second function, regress the first function to the second function, then get your random numbers. And then Desmos is going to calculate this function for you. What you need to do, look at your numbers. You say 15, where is it coming from? QS. And then 154 RT. But what are possible RTs? We have 177 to 154. So you can use one of them. You can use QX. You can say this is 3 and 5 or 5 and 3, right? So if I say, let my Q, because all these are non-integers, I say Q, let's Q be 3. And what is QT? I put QT here. I get 6. All these are what? Integers. So Q has to be 3. QT is 6. Let's see if this is the smallest we can go. The other possible value of Q is 5. We have 6, but R is still not an integer. You are right, but you don't know if you're right? And T is not an integer, right? I'm going to make this 15 and I have non-integer at 0.6. Still, QT is 6 because Desmos is picking numbers. This question, I said it that way that you don't have to worry too much, but you don't know. Based on that, if you're doing Desmos, you say, oh, it's not right. That's why you got to know a little bit of algebra to pick it. That, oh, Q, the best option is Q, is when Q is 3, not 5. The other way to check it is use RS. RS, if I pick R to be 1, what do you have? 385. This is not an integer. It's bigger. When R is 77, I get what? QT is 6. All of them are integers, which was exactly when Q is 3. Therefore, this is the best way to solve it. And therefore, this is the right answer. QT has to be 6, the smallest, least possible value of that using regression and then algebra to think about it. Question 5 is one of my favorite. It's hard. It requires some thinking. You got to spend some time with it. Don't pick an answer and run away. I intentionally said it that way. This may save you your score. You have this equation. They said the equation has non-integer solution. That's the key. Pay attention. And this is a factor. This is going to give you non-integer solution. But what is the value? Your A and C has to be positive integers. What is the least possible value of AC? Don't put this in the regression right away. Take time and then pick a number. I'm going to factor this. This is what is going to help you. I want you to approach this question that way because of the restriction. These are the numbers given. Pick another factor, dummy factor. I put it here. And when you factorize, your A is going to come from what? 6M. Your C is going to come from 4N. Your AC is what? 24MN. Our A and C has to be integer, and our factor has to be non-integer. That's a lot of things to do with Desmos, right? He can do it, but if you don't guide him, you can't. That's why I say input is the best way to work with Desmos. Don't just put the numbers in. Just make sure you're telling Desmos what to do, not Desmos telling you what to pick. And therefore, I'm going to pick 6x plus 4 over mx plus n. Do your normal regression as usual. And Desmos pick these numbers for me. Get your random numbers. And this is what you have. Now, we're going to say to Desmos, I know my numbers. A, that I want, is 6M. Okay, my C is 4N, right? You see, C is not an integer, but I know something. I want AC. It's 0 right now. What is the problem? I'm going to pick N to make it an integer. I say N has to be 1. Now, look at M, look at what I do with N, and see what happens. So we're looking for the least possible value. What you need to do, go all the way and put the step 1 so that you have only integers. And I'm going to look at AC. Is it increasing and decreasing? And you can see your axis. I go up, is increasing, 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 and then it starts decreasing. Decreasing to what? 203, and then go to negative. So we don't want a negative. It has to be positive. So I get 204. Now let's pause here. I need to teach you something. This is 204. AC. C is an integer. A is an integer. But M is not an integer. It's the smallest. We got to ignore it. Right? N is an integer. Unfortunately, it does not meet the criteria. Most people will pick this, but forget that M is not an integer. Therefore, let's go up. Therefore, N has to go up, down. I get 768. Now, 768 is a little bit higher than that. But what do I have? An integer. AC is the smallest we have apart from the one we saw. This is also an integer. This is also an integer. This is also an integer. Are you going to pick the answer? This is the second highest most people is going to pick. Look at this. I said the equation has not integer solution. M is 2, N is what? 16. We have our factor mx plus n. If you put it there, m is 2x, n is 16. This is going to give you what? Minus 8. It's an integer. Therefore, we cannot pick this. If you pick this, it's going to be a wrong answer. I did not give you answers, but if I give you answers, I'll put that one as one of them, and a lot of people will pick it. Therefore, let's go. Keep on going down. I'm going down. I'm looking at it. M is not an integer. M is an integer, but look, what is going to happen? Look at this. This A and C are all fine, but this is going to give you what? M is 5, N is 14. The number is 168. It's good, but maybe there may be something there that we can pick later. These are also, this is not an integer, so I keep on going. The number is getting bigger and increasing, therefore I don't pay attention to that. Now it's going down. I got to pay attention. What is the problem? I get 2. 2 is 114. M is an integer. Everything is an integer. N is an integer. Is my factor a non-integer? Yes, because I have what? M is 23. Therefore, 23s plus n is 2 is equal to 0. This is going to give you non-integer solution. You see? And therefore, these are our answers. ACE is 1104, even though it's big, but it's better than the 208 and 700 and something that we found. This is the way you solve it. And ACE has to be this, 1104. 5 questions to get you to advanced math. Watch this multiple times. And tomorrow, I'm going to release another Model 2 question, 22 and a hard one. These two, when you combine them, trust me, you're going to get over 700. Take care of yourself and good luck.